All right, welcome everyone to another happy hour for Conquest. We're super excited to have you here. We've got a lot to show you. We'll stall a few minutes because I know there's always a bunch of people trying to get in at the last second. It's kind of the way it works, at least so far. That's what we've seen. So, but again, we welcome you in to this. I'm calling it the Halloween happy hour. You'll notice the orangey colors and the background I chose because I feel like it's still kind of Halloweenish, at least here in the U.S. It's a spooky season, and it's fun to. We're bringing some spook to you as we look at some of the things coming in this happy hour. So I felt like it was a good theme, and we're excited to show you a bunch of new stuff, which is always fun for us. So we have a lot of presenters today. We have a lot of things to go over. We're going to start out from a Conquest event standpoint. Don't worry, Jordan, the Weavers are coming. I promise. We're going to show you the holiday promos. We are ready and loaded. As you can see, the Nepenthe starters are built and they are ready to be shipped. The first shipments to distributors around the furthest parts of the globe from Greece have left. The rest is leaving. There are only 500 of these bad boys, and there's only about, I'm going to guess, about $1.25 left based on the orders we've taken. So super excited about that. We want to remind you that this weekend we have the Meow Hammer tournament that we're taking part in. That's November 9th, so that's coming right up. We have the PAX Unplugged tournament. Our very own Hunter will be there November 21st and 2nd, helping with that group. So that's going to be a fun event in Philly. Get some cheesesteak while you're there, buddy. We have the Nepenthe campaigns beginning in December. So that'll be, of course, the 2-player starters that you see, as well as the lore campaigns. And I'm going to surprise even my own team with this one. But the December releases for retailers who are part of this, or Vanguards who are part of this, are going to release on receipt. When you get them, you sell them. No release date. They go before Christmas. Darn it. We're not waiting until the last Friday of the month this month. It's going to go right away. So that's exciting stuff. It is a great time for unorganized play. Joey and Hunter will tell you a little bit about that coming up. And then right after the new year, we'll have a new happy hour in mid-January. Right after that will be CanCon in Canberra in Australia. And we're super excited to be back there with a good-sized tournament. And our friends from France are going to be telling you about the ITC coming up in February. So that's a lot of stuff that we're going to tackle. In addition, don't worry, I'm going to show you product. Don't panic. There'll be lots of stuff to show. So for everyone's benefit, a free Krampus begins now. The delightful, no, probably not. Kind of following the Halloween theme, really. The not delightful, but super fun Krampus miniature as part of the Krampus tradition in Europe. Will steal your candy and whack you on the head and get you ready to play some Conquest. He comes with a really fun scenario pack as well. So yeah, he plays. He's got his own game. As you can see there with a little mallet, he brings his own game. So that's free for any $129.99 spend. Our FLGS retailers are invited and encouraged and supported in this program, all who wish to participate. And if they're not, and you want them to, tell them to. That's the best way you can get them to get on board. The other thing we're doing is that we believe this season is the best season to get people starting to play Conquest. And we also know that people who play Conquest love to read about Conquest. So we're giving everybody who buys a cohort or a 1-player starter a free softcover lore book, $30 value. And yes, you can double them up. You get both the Krampus and the lore book with every starter, 1-player starter you buy. That, fans, is not Krampus right there. That is Santa effing Claus coming at you with this bad boy gift. So I hope you'll take advantage of it. And both, again, available at your local retailer as well. Tell them often that you want it because I think it's pretty cool. And they do have to place their orders for it. So to answer your question, they have to order these promos as part of their retailer kits, but they still can. It's not too late. Christmas is still more than a month away, so we have plenty of time to get it to them. So we're going to talk about the Nepenthe campaign. It is one of the things we've been asked about a lot to do for the many years in which we debuted this, and we have 2 items coming up. The 2-player starters I just showed you are going to have, it's going to be a truly bespoke starter set. It's over $650 in value for a $299 USD retail, €275. You're going to get actual Spire and 100 Kingdom dice in it. You're getting gorgeous models, a very full set. If you already own those, yeah, you can buy the lore campaign set as well. So that's going to be available. Release on receipt in December. Both items have the exclusive miniatures, which you're going to see there on the page, but also coming up a little later. STLs for the Spires. You'll see them behind Stavro as you're looking, and you'll see them here in a moment. So these are the 2 boxes. Those are the 2 miniatures. Super excited to bring this narrative campaign to the market for you to play. That means no matter what, that week between Christmas and New Year's, when a lot of games happen, a lot of games can happen with this story line. And that, for us, it makes for a really fun holiday season. So we hope you agree. And of course, Spires STLs. Everyone's been asking, when are we getting Spires terrain? When? There it is.
And that's not all of it. We just we couldn't fit all the pieces, but the small pieces are going to be a small set of about 4 to be able to make like a zonal obstruction terrain. So the bottom left and right diagonal, and the center sort of like what we imagine to be root spines. Those are a set of 3. Which will let you create visually obstructing terrain as well. You've got the spawning pool, you've got the sort of the maintenance hatch, and you've got the sort of exhaust column. That's what I imagine them as. People can interpret them truly however they want, given that it's creepy Spire stuff. We thought it better to actually get terrain out into your hands rather than wait for the fully sculpted craziness that is coming. It just, when I got the time quote for how long it would take to do, I was like, oh, we would like to release that this year if possible. So this is holding us over with very good pieces until we get the awesome bespoke pieces as well. But because we felt guilty that we didn't get you the good stuff, we decided to do a lot of this, and this ended up being just as sexy, if not sexier, to be honest. You're going to be able to pretty much fill an entire battlefield with just this. So, you know, it's one of those things where you're like, oh, we got to do something, and it ends up being probably better than the original. So I hope you guys enjoyed as much as we enjoyed putting it together for you.
And wait till you print it. It's going to be super fun.
Oh, yes. That's the other thing that we did. It is supportless. There was a lot of learning on that curve as well. Part of the reason they gave me that ridiculous time quote. So it's supportless, prints beautifully on FDM, and I am probably going to regret saying this, but we've tested it. It worked, and it worked to the industry standards that we weren't meeting before, and we're going to go back and we're going to correct our previous sculpts as well to make it like this.
Amazing. We talked about this a little bit a couple happy hours ago, but Joey Hunter have really put together a beautiful, what we call it Project Fun, or sometimes unorganized play. The goal for this is for casual opportunities for people to look at Conquest in different ways. Everybody comes to Conquest with different mindsets. Some are simply beer and pretzels. Some are frothing at the mouth to get the Heos. And in between, there's a lot of opportunity for people to play Conquest in very many forms. I don't know, Joey Hunter, if you want to add anything to what I've just said, but have at it and know that this holiday season is a great time for some unorganized play.
Meowhammer this weekend. I'll actually be participating in The tournament is a charity tournament for special needs animals. So if you guys want to go out and support that, go for it. And it's doing the multiplayer rules. So it'll be a lot of fun. I'm very excited to play some crazier 2v2 builds in Conquest.
Love it.
I want to compliment that as well, having played team battles with the multiplayer rules at LVO on day 0. God, it was such a good way to get to know the players, kind of get to know their list, what they're bringing. I played alongside David, a Vanguard from Nevada, and I don't play Wadroon. He plays Wadroon, and it was really, really insightful to play alongside him as a 2v2 against our opponents and learn his strategies and his army a little bit. So I really, really like the multiplayer rules.
So these are on our website. Retailers have access to them as well. And we hope, again, just trying to give you options of play experiences that are, as it says, fun, because that's what this is supposed to be. And so, ITC team, are you there? Hello?
Yes.
Ah, there you are. I knew you were there earlier, and then you disappeared from my screen, so I got nervous.
See us, I think, but do you hear us?
We do view you now. Yes, you're good.
Very good.
Welcome, Guillaume and Billy. Welcome. Gwendolyn, Guillaume, I mean, sorry.
No problem. Both of us are here. So we wanted to speak, well, quickly about the ITC project. So the International Team Championship that we are trying to organize with the association Le Beau Jeu, Guillaume and I, which is right next to me, which is what we want to be an international free-man team event inspired by World Team Championship in other games. The point being to have an event driven by communities to meet each other, share the love for the game in a competitive but convivial atmosphere. The last edition was last year in March 2025, and it went quite well. Great. So what happened in 2025 was we had 10 teams, 8 French, 1 German, 1 Spanish. If any members of those non-French teams are there, we greet you with a very warm welcome again. It was a very, very good event. We had a lot of fun. It was a bit complicated until the very end, but nonetheless, it was still a very fun event. And we hope for this year to be even bigger. The more the merrier. So we want this year to be an even greater one than the last, with more nations represented, more and better representation and sharing. And the most important information is that it will be held on the 20th, 21st, and 22nd of February of 2026. So you have a QR code which will lead you directly to the registration page. If you have any need for questions, you will be able to find me on the international Discord, and you will be able to find Guillaume as well. Guillaume, don't change pages. I need to still be able to see the slides.
Oh, sorry, did I go too fast?
No, it's on Guillaume. Don't worry, Daryl.
Okay.
The question: who is this for? Anyone? If you're casual players, it still is a fun-driven community experience with Bellum keynote, with news, previews, questions, and more. Hopefully, with Stavros lying there, we hope so. At the very least, but
I'm going to try to make it like last year.
we certainly hope.
Thanks.
So. It would be very nice to have you again. And even without that, it will be an occasion to meet, play, and enjoy a weekend with amazing players, because we are all very nice people, of course. And for those of you who are competitive players, it is an event where you will be able to earn more points despite being a team. You will be able to represent your nation, of course, and it will be a way to discover how the game is played. Works. So, goodies. Any team tournament isn't complete without goodies, and the goodies are consisting of, but not limited to, the one and only Napoleon Bonaparte, the Emperor of the Seven Seas, and very much a lot of titles, which I'm not going to give them all because it's a very long name, but you get the idea. And a strike bag of various other goodies to be announced, which are, of course, all included in price and participation fee that you have to pay for the tournament. But we are also making it a carry-dated event. So during the event, we will have a tombola, which will reveal a second fish gnome named the Sentinel of the Silent Trenches. All the money earned by the tombola will be given to the Bleu de France, which supports honor soldiers and victims of war and terrorism, just like Poppy up in the UK. Every part of the caritative tombola and the money earned with the sales of the Sentinel will be shared between the France and 2 equivalent organizations among the most represented nations during the event. Just so I don't absolutely butcher the pronunciations of those names, despite what you would like me to do, I am not going to pronounce any of those, but they are similar organizations which support honor soldiers and victims of terrorism in other countries around us. So it is both a team tournament and a carry-day event, and a source of 2 exclusive fish gnomes if you want to, and if you're curious enough about those cute little creatures. And wall points, yeah, apparently there is wall points, they say. Yes, so you will be able to earn wall points to qualify for queues with us. Depending on your team's ranking, you will earn points as if we were a up to 48 players event, because we have them for up to 16 free-men team, or if it happens, teams. So if you're close by, if you're near region G, or if you're from another region and want to come and greet us nonetheless, you're welcome, and you won't move for nothing. So, could you go to the next slide there, please? So, the where and the how now. So, the tournament will take place in Besançon, in Saint-Tropez, which is in the northwestern part of Paris. And it can be accessed through various transportation from Paris airports. The event will take place, as I said before, on the 21st and the 22nd of February 2026, so next year. To register your team, the participation fees will be 240 euros, including both lunch on the 21st and the 22nd, the icebreaker evening on the 20th, dinner on the 21st evening, breakfast on both days, and soft drinks at the event. And you may also pre-register for 140 euros first and complete the registration with an additional 100 euros that you will be able to pay until the 31st of January 2026. So just to give a little bit of detail on what is displayed on the screen, what we would like to have is by the 12th of December to have 12 teams. Guillaume, correct me if I'm wrong, but we softened that requirement to 10 to 12 teams.
10 to 12.
Yes. And for example, if you are pre-registered, it's already, well, sort of proof enough for us that you're registered. So if you can't pay 240 until the 12th of December, if you're already doing the pre-registration, it's already enough for us. And if you're registering after the 12th, if we have enough teams, it's fine too. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask us.
Are this price is for a team, correct? So
Yes.
per person is 80 euros.
Absolutely.
Just to clarify for everyone's benefit.
Of course. So it will be 240 for 3 players, so for an entire team, which will go back to 80 euros per person.
Which you get 2 lunches and free drinks. I can tell you that the drinks at Gen Con alone would cost you 80 euros. So
I mean,
it's a heck of a deal.
I'm not here to diss on anyone. But
I can do that.
just saying. So
It's a great deal, guys.
and of course the QR code for registering. And finally, if you can go to the next slide, guys. So the after this edition of the ITC, which will work very well, the idea is to make the ITC something that's bigger than just a French event. The idea is to start a call to application before April 2026 to see which country wants to organize the next edition of the ITC. So people send in applications, they say, hey, we want to be the next one to organize that. Then team captains of this, well, next year edition, 2026 edition, vote which country wants the final candidate, and the cycle begins for 2027. And, well, whoever decides to organize it takes on the mantle of deciding, well, we organize it on this date, for these days, in this location, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, well, that's basically the project. Do you have anything to add here that I haven't said?
Okay, just
maybe there are some questions that I
Yeah, I can answer there's a question about Hios points and how one gets it for a team event. What we've decided to do, just for clarification purposes, is that let's assume for the moment this is a 48-person event. The top team will get the average of the 3 places for what a 48-person event would normally be. So most points would come from position number 1, second position and third position would be averaged out, and each player would get the average of positions 1, 2, and 3 for the top team. Second team would get the average of positions 4, 5, and 6. Third team, 7, 8, 9. Sorry, and math is hard for me. So you get the idea. And that way, each player on a team gets an equivalent number of points for their participation on the team. But we're not giving out more points in Hios, towards Hios, than a normal 48 person or whatever number ends up number of people participating becomes. So no one is going to be able to get a larger benefit from team play. Everyone will average out based on where their team finishes. So I think it's a very equitable and super exciting and engaging way to participate, either casually, as the guys noted. If you're not gunning for Hios and you just want to have a great time, support your fellow countrymen and have a really nice event and a great deal. Lunch in Paris for twice for 80 euros. I mean, you can't do that in Paris, gang. That's a heck of a deal. Second, you're getting free soda. That's a great deal. Third, that way everybody gets to participate. And if you're going for Hios and your team does really well, you're going to get a good amount of points. So it's a win-win. And are we looking to do this later on? Yes, we are. So we're going to run it first with the event here at the ITC in France in February. So it would not be available for December. It's too quick to answer the question there. But after February, we want to test it once, make sure everything works the way we think it works, and then look to expand it from there. But I think I've answered all of the questions that came through in the chat. Sabro, anything you want to add?
Just that this is the beginning of what we hope is a beautiful team's take on competitive play. We're very, very open to it. We want to see it thrive. And it is going to be a great opportunity for Europe to develop a large tournament where world points can be earned, so that US doesn't have all of the advantage in that regard. With a larger what's called tournaments. So I'm actually really looking forward to it. Plus, Paris is not a hard sell, is it?
It's Paris. I mean, come on. Like I said, 2 lunches, 80 euros, free soda, and you get to play Conquest. I mean, even I don't have to be hard sell on that one. Pretty easy. So there you go. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm grateful. I am very confident that as this gets out over the Twitchosphere and the YouTubeosphere, if those are even things, that you will get a number of signups. And if you do have questions, they're on Discord. They're super excited to participate this. And let's go. Let's go. So now I know one of the reasons people are here are these bad boys, the Weaver Courts. Jordan, are you paying attention? Are you there, Jordan? Jordan, are you there? Jordan's there. All right, good. Welcome. Welcome to the Weaver Courts. These models are just killing it. I don't know. I don't have to say a whole lot here. They're pretty sweet. The Will-O-Wisps, the Drakes.
we do the mandatory pre-assembly, post-assembly. This has been sitting on my desk on top of the, what do you call the vitrina, the glass stand where we have the miniatures. Even the unpainted version is staggering. The will-o-wisps are just the beautiful mix of familiar and eerie, of soothing and creepy that we've had, and I am truly proud of this sculpt. Like it is hard to oversell it, guys. Now, despite appearances, it actually balances. Of course, like all of these miniatures, it will benefit from a little bit of a counterweight if you can add a little bit of metal to the back of the base or underneath
the Drake now, the dragon.
The Drake, yeah.
Yeah.
But it balances fine on its own.
And Leo built one without any weights, without anything, and we did add into the box before they shipped some helpful tips for you all on assembly. They're hard plastic. Remember, this is not resin, so it stands on its own.
And it's one of those challenging things of like engineering on the one hand and sort of artistic freedom on the other. You guys know that we have fairly consistently erred on the side of the more artsy over the more simple and elegant engineering. But this actually required very little compromise. And I think you guys will love it. The sheer size and the imposing nature of it, the way we sculpted the wings so that there's a seam in the middle, so the large chunk of the wing can actually be magnetized on, so it's a lot easier to transport than its sheer size would imply, because it should be able to fit even into the relatively narrow boxes on its side. It's overall just this beautiful model that absolutely encapsulates our vision of what we wanted the Weavers to be. And the Parabellum aesthetic, right? Familiar, but with a twist. So very happy with these. Looking forward to see them appear in the Weaver armies. And yes, the will-o-wisps. I love them. It's hard to explain. They are much bigger than what you can see here. You're trained for smaller miniatures. These stand taller than most of our brutes when assembled. They are closer to a moving piece of terrain than they appear to a swarm, right? Your eye looks at this and says, okay, it's a swarm. These are very big. And they absolutely add that eldritch alien feel to the Weavers, which is a critical part of their design. Now, we had to launch with the more traditional models for the Weaver line first, because they form the backbone of the army. But as you see, the coming releases are where we truly start bringing in the twist that is that alien terraforming vibe that the Weavers have. They're not happy tree huggers. They are happy tree mutators. And it's beautifully encapsulated in these troops, their support dynamics with the army, their ability to provide to block line of sight for your opponent, but not for your own troops. It's fascinating. And the idea that these things have in a way become this semi-sentient immune system of the forest, of the Faeran, is really just the way we envision them sort of quietly gliding among the trees where you thought you're running away from whatever it is that's hunting you, and these things just start appearing, blocking your every angle of escape. Just cool stuff overall.
Yeah, I know that I've gotten from retailers some pushback on the price of these, but of course, as Stavro notes, they are quite a bit larger. And yes, Cody, I should have brought the banana I should have done a banana picture, so you were 100% right. I didn't think of it. Stavro, they are the same price as the Damaro Damashi. They're the same price as the Ashen Dawn. because they are of a similar build structure and from an upfront sculpting structure, I should say, mold, detail, and design. And these are not simple brutes by any means. So
No, not by any
really
stretch.
aware of that's why they are more expensive.
Yes. I'm to blame. I was very ambitious with what I wanted them to be and how I wanted them to look. But truly, you have to see them in the size to understand why they were priced at the level they were priced. It's one of those things that the engineering and the plastic that went into it is a challenge. But anything less wouldn't have done the concept justice. So give these guys the benefit of the doubt. They're worth it.
I'm confident that once people see them, they're going to be like, oh, I mean, everyone, I think, before they saw the Tomorrow went, wait, what? And then saw the Tomorrow and went, oh yeah, okay, get it. This is going to be similar. Jordan asked a good question. Oh, Stavros, sorry, that I want to answer before we go too far off the Drakes is can a rider be mounted to them?
Say that again?
Can a rider be mounted to the Drakes?
Not yet. Yet being the operative word.
Okay.
I can also tell you that if you want to convert the rune seed and the Moor seed actually can fit really well jumping off the hump, and that's what I'm doing with mine. So there's another reason to grab one extra of those. So just saying it fits perfectly in there.
Oh, there you go. So a little kit bashing there will work nicely. Before we go on to the next pretty picture, is there anything else anybody has questions about around the Will-O-Wisps to add? Because we have more pretty pictures. Oop. Sorry, I didn't mean to make it bigger. There you go. There's your first pretty picture. Skele dancers. Oh, Joey, your reaction was worth it alone. Joey's reaction was so good right there. These are fiercely elegant.
As I said, we had to do the plain weavers first to provide the backbone of the army. But now that we got the boring stuff out of the way, the weavers are.
Hold on. There's not the Moth Riders are not even remotely.
I know. They know what I'm talking about.
The Kern skirmishers a little, but come on.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. But you know what I mean. It's the backbone of the army, right? We have to get the meat and potatoes done, and now we are playing with the desserts and with the appetite. And now we're playing with the desserts. And there's a lot of dessert coming. We're gonna get glutted. You'll see. You'll see soon.
We're having a lot of fun with these.
Yeah, and what we've tried to do is we've tried to give people the ability to go the more Fey route, so they have alternative heads in there. So you can go a more Fey route, or you can go for the wilder, sort of like insectile, creepy alien aesthetic.
There's a creepy alien aesthetic as you right on cue. Look at that, huh? Look at that. Like we practiced, only we didn't.
So it will let you sort of shape the army in whatever style or vibe you want to do. Both of them equally valid.
The design detail on these are just stunning. Okay.
Yeah. And the whole concept of these is, dancing in between enemy troops. They thrive in a chaotic environment. They're actually stronger the more attacks are directed at them. They sort of redirect, make troops blunder, fall into each other. They have the counterattack rule. So the more volume of attacks you put into them, the more damage they cause. And the image is opponents tripping over themselves while these things are like dancing around with their flailing swords, tripping people up, just chaos and mayhem, and then sort of dancing through the middle of it.
Cody, we're working on getting the Klarna set up for the website, and I'm sure most of the retailers probably already have it. So don't worry. So these are the Skele dancers, and coming in December, release on receipt, so they can be under the tree for whomever you wish to gift them to, and to get us started with. So we're super excited. And now I know Evan and a few people I spied with their little eyes a few things in the background. Bam! Here you go. Bring on the moose.
And these are the Gimmered Knights. Again, we made the mistake of not putting a banana. They are bigger even than the Ashen Dawn. These guys are basically the lone wardens of like the frozen north. They are, each of them is in charge of a vast stretch of basically frozen, uninhabited land where they are the law. They are basically, I realized somebody pointed it out to me and I had to read into them because I didn't know about them. The Canadian Mounties. So they are the equivalent of fantasy, angry, cold, indifferent Fey Mounties who are pretty much judge, jury, and executioner. Which is why your army won't field many of them, because you don't need many of them to make an impact on the battlefield. They are absolutely terrifying. And the sculpts are sublime. They are so big, we actually had to give them their tactical rocks. Otherwise, there is absolutely no way they would fit in the bases. Again, something that we get called on very often. And we're in the process of trying to fix. It's a long and involved process requiring very simple but oddly complicated solutions. Just these models are beautiful.
Tim asks, are the tattoos painted by Demo or are they sculpted in as well?
Oh, you catch me there.
The tattoos are freehand on the Gimmered thing.
Okay, good. Thank God I didn't speak, because I was going to say I think we etched them on, but I'm glad Leo brought that up.
I happened to be in Athens almost 3 weeks ago now, and got to see these firsthand. And I don't often get, because I'm not in Athens, I don't get to see all the models. So getting to see them before I'd seen the pictures, and we've heard you, we're stepping up our picture game. I think you're seeing, as I'm hoping you're agreeing that you're seeing, but boy, when you see them in person, even these pictures, I can say still don't do the justice. So I've been beating on the team. Poor Tasso was ready to shoot me, no doubt, after but I've seen these and I know how much better they can be, because they really are stunning in person too.
And Ashen Dawn, our largest cavalry, reach around the knee of one of these guys. Like, it was critical for us to get the sheer size of the moose to be as accurate as we could do it.
Just to clarify, Stavros, sorry, you mean the rider's knee, not the moose.
Oh, yes.
Because some people lost it.
No.
The rider's knee, yes, halfway.
Yes, the rider's knee. The rider's knee, guys. Yes. That would make it a monster. Which would make this kit about 15 tools, which would make me a very, very, very broke Stavro. So it's an absolutely gorgeous kit. It fits all sorts of color schemes. We had to go for something a little bit more conservative, but you guys can go absolutely nuts here. On the tattoos, on how you want the moose to look, the creepy human face / masks that are on them, the Gimmered Knight themselves, their creepy sort of elfin proportions. The entire kit is Sublime. There's as somebody said, there's a reason you waited for years for these. There's a reason we had to have the right artist on board to do these concepts justice.
We hope you agree that while no one likes to wait, that the wait was worth it. So these bad boys as well can be under your tree because they will be out in December. And we're very, very excited to bring them to you.
Yeah.
And so what's next? Again, you can see the dragons are ready to go to all the retailers for all of the holiday sales. The November releases, the Will-O-Wisps and the dragons, will be out before Black Friday. The release date is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, or is it the Tuesday before Thanksgiving? I can't remember. Before Thanksgiving in the U.S. here. So early in November. They're on their way now. That box, that picture is from this morning, I believe, as they're boxing stuff up and sending it out. So get ready for that. And then you'll see, of course, coming up in January, we have the Skathak Hunters, the Myrmidons in February, the Gallowglass Warriors in Q2, and the Fena Cavalry in Q2, and then the Wild Hunt. Stay tuned. I'm not putting the date there yet, but it's not far. Nothing's far.
Mm.
You can see the Weaver Courts are going to be like the Aroni were and like the Sorcerer Kings were, fierce on the tables, fiercely fast on the tables, because they're going to be able to be built into 2,000 point armies super, super quickly.
Yeah, no, that was very important from us. It was a learning point that, you know, we've got to pack the release of a new army so that the army is viable and plays as quickly as humanly possible. And we feel that by the time you're done building your core troops, you're going to have enough of an army released that you can play fully in a competitive setting. You might be missing a few toys, but those are going to be coming in the upcoming months.
So exciting stuff for the Weaver Courts, our friends, but don't tune out yet, because on the next slide, why isn't it sliding? There it goes. Ooh. Our Spires fans who were complaining so much last happy hour, where's my stuff? We were already listening. It was already coming. This is not in reaction because things can't move quite that quickly. But yes, Spire fans, rules update coming. And
Yep.
Joey, Yanni, I don't know which one of you has drawn straws as to who's going first.
Oh, ladies first. And she's
good.
also a full-time Spire lover, so she should go first.
Fair enough.
I had the pleasure of being in Athens last month and doing some playtesting, playing some games with Yanni for the Spires rework. And as a full-time Spires fan, and what I mean by that is I played 1.0, I played 1.3, I played 1.5. Andrew, your microphone's on.
Andrew, I'm trying to mute him, but I can't. It's not working.
Chef Andrew, please mute your mic.
On it. 1 sec. Sorry.
Thank you, Andrew.
There we go.
Luckily, we know him. So I played all the versions of the Spire since the game came out. I have, long since been a fan aesthetically and gameplay wise as to the toolkit that is the Spires. That is how I describe them. They're a toolkit. They have so many things they can do, from move faster, heal more, attack more times, do another movement when you're not supposed to be able to. They are just a huge toolkit. So looking at the rework and playing through it in Office, I was specifically looking for things to be missing. I was looking for things that I wanted to rage about not having. And after looking through the entire list and playing some games, there was nothing I was missing. There was even rules reminiscent of 1.0 and 1.3 that I used to love that were retired from the game just because the game moves on, we update, we advance. So not only is there everything I expect in this rework as a Spires player, there is so much honor done to the Spires rules that came before, where we started from. I'm very, very happy with the toolkit and the direction it has going forward. A couple other things I'll say is looking at infantry or looking at brutes, I found myself in list building trying to find, again, reasons to be upset. We don't always like the updates. And every single
change is hard.
Every brute had a specific thing that I would want it for. So there's this hyper specialization where, if you want more attacks, more clash, you have these forward forcing units that you're like, cool, this is going to be in the front. You have far more durable units that are just higher defense or higher wounds that have tenacious or whatever it is that's going to have them stay on the field longer for you to put your characters in. So everything has a purpose. You're not going to find yourself taking one brute and having no reason to take another brute, or with the infantry. I was super delighted with that all, and with the addition of the Merchant Prince coming soon, which this Alchemist is a alternate sculpt for. Yes, brand new character. So it's everything you want as a Spires player, everything you're familiar with, just brought up to the level that we're at today. Even doing homage to some of the older rules that we do not have anymore, while introducing new characters, new monsters, and some of those monsters have some abilities that, again, are very reminiscent of Biomancy's long past.
Well, I won't make Yanni have to talk immediately over these pictures so that people can absorb. What are those? Go ahead, Yanni.
Well, as beautifully Joy said, I truly love the Merchant Prince also why we played, because it was Spire's trickery. But as you can see from the pics, there are new monsters coming in. So while the A-Boom is a classic, and of course, sorry, and of course we have new things in store for you, there are two new monsters, the Desolation Beast and the Consumption Beast. One is more focused on shooting, volleying. The other is more focused on melee. The one does cheap damage, and the other one, actually, I cannot say exactly what it does, but if you see a giant maw coming at you,
for January.
Exactly. If you see a giant maw coming at you, maybe you should be afraid. Maybe it has a few tricks that you don't want to find out what they do up close.
Particularly if you're infantry.
Exactly, yeah. I'm a dude with a stick, but I don't think my stick will do a lot of harm to this thing. And I was always a fan of brutes in the Spires, and I was very excited to find out, playing with Joy, that all the avatars are now really useful, specialized, especially the center avatars that I love, have some really cool punishing new rules, and you can field full armies of avatars now, which is I'm very intrigued in doing. And the Sovereign Lineage and all that new rules coming up, which can punish regiments really hard, even the broken ones, and do tricks with their actions that you will not expect. I will not say anything more. Stay tuned to find out.
What are those and what are these? Trevor, do you want to elaborate a little on these two pictures?
So on the top left, what you are seeing is a Founders exclusive. It is a reconception of the lineage Highborn, and the title is Hubris. And the title is Hubris because these particular avatar suits were commissioned or envisioned to be dragon slayers. I leave it at that. And on the right, it is the opposite in every imaginable way. It's it has two names. It's the Gribbly Squidget. It's the Gribbly or the Squidget. I have confused my art department to no end. And the concept is, how do we make the Merchant Prince scary, right? How do we make him interesting? How do we make him thematic? And I stole from the best. So if anybody remembers old James Bond and Ernst Stavro Blofeld with his cat, well, that's pretty much what you're going to see going on in the Spire Merchant Prince, as he calmly surveys the carnage all around him, petting his favorite Gribbly Squidget. It gave the miniature that sense of aloofness that is critical. And then we've obviously focused the design on the really, the Spire aesthetic, the long cloth, the creepiness overall. But we try to emulate the creepiness of this old school Bond villain, just calmly petting his cat as everything goes to hell all around them, or as they describe their maniacal, diabolical plan. It's
great. The comments. I know you're paying attention, several, but the fish gnome comments are just awesome. Stop.
My name is Gnome, James Gnome. Okay, that might actually warrant the James Bond gnome at some point.
Double O Salmon is very, very well done, Tim. Very well done.
Oh God. So yes, no, it's going to be a good release period for the Spires. We are happy with the redesign. We're happy with the direction. It is different to how they played, absolutely. But it includes everything they used to have, just re-envisioned and redesigned, a little bit more modern than it used to be, a little bit less arcane than it used to be, and a little bit more approachable than it used to be. So I am looking forward to you guys seeing those rules. And I'm looking forward to you guys seeing the sculpts, particularly the Consumption Beast. So the idea is that the Desolation Beast was what the directorate created to literally clean out the last of the muck in a spawning pool. The Consumption Beast is what they sent to get rid of the lots of muck in a spawning pool, right? And it would go in, consume everything, and leave only like a thin layer on the side, and then that would be sterilized by the Desolation Beast. And then some bright mind said, hey, wait, why don't we do this on the battlefield? And thus was horror born again from the mind of a profit maximizing or a cost minimizing, profit maximizing inhuman creature.
So January, February, Spires fans, you don't have to wait long. You're leading off 2026. So exciting times, exciting times. But Joel, Jacob, are you ready? Because you're taking over the next piece. Are you there, buddies? You ready? There's more. Wait, what's happening?
I love this graphic.
What is going on? I don't understand. What's happening? First blood?
Yeah. So I'm gonna jump in here a little bit.
Don't walk underneath the scaffolding.
No, we are reworking First Blood from the ground up. It is a new game. It is very good. So one of the key things that I've always looked for in war games is this sense of narrative, right? This sense of storytelling that comes from how you play and how a battle unfolds. And this was the mandate that Jacob and Joel had. It was make the game tell a cool story, make it develop, make the little interactions that there are between troops flow in such a way that you get a beautiful narrative at the same time as you make a good game, a fun game, right? Daryl is the person who I quote on this. He's like, how many people have walked out of a game session and said, oh, that was a very balanced game, versus how many people have walked out saying that was a very fun game? So this was very much their mandate. Make it story rich and make it balanced. And they have delivered in spades. The micro interactions between each I'm going to be quiet because this steps into their terrain, but we're keeping the what's it called? The stat line the same. And we're keeping the cards. They're used rather more creatively now, but card activation is still there. But then pretty much everything else is a new take. I'm gonna let Jacob and Joel take it away.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, we're very excited to bring you all First Blood coming soon-ish. Everyone will see, of course, more of this as we develop it. There'll be newsletters and we'll have more happy hours to explain all the new changes and innovations coming. It was very important to us that we made First Blood truly feel like its own unique game, that have its own identity separate from Conquest, where it's very familiar, but it has its own DNA with it as well. We wanted, of course, to make some brand new mechanics for it that are not seen elsewhere. There's some very cool things that I'll share later with deployment, using cards that are very innovative and not seen anywhere else. But I'd like to pass it over to Jacob, who will explain the new dice mechanic that we have for clashing.
All right. So, as you'll see here, this fierce raider charges into this poor man-at-arms, and he strikes 3 blows. He scores a 2, a 4, and a 6. And then, Daryl, do you wish to go to the next slide?
I can do that. Oop.
The spoilers. No, back one. There we go.
Sorry, it jumped way ahead on me. I don't know why it went so fast.
And then a big difference you'll notice is comparative rolling is the name of the game. So when you roll your attacks, you're not rolling a success or fail. It is how well do you succeed. So a 2 is harder to defend against the 3, and a 1 is the hardest to defend against all. So the man-at-arms there rolls a 3 and a 4 for his defense. And with his 4, he's able to cancel out the Raiders' other 4. And however, though, he was unable to defend the Raiders' 2. And then, Daryl, next slide. 1 of 2. Oh, go ahead.
A quick interruption. The important thing about this is that it means that pretty much every die roll but a 6 matters. A 6 is a miss, as you can see there. But even a 5, if your opponent rolls a 6, and it's happened more times than I would care admit when we're doing the playtest, you are hanging on the result of every roll. There is no foregone conclusion. Everything matters, which is really, really appealing about this system.
Okay. And then, so after the failed defense of the men-at-arms, 1 of 2 things can happen. He now must test his resolve and see if he can shrug off the blow and continue fighting on, or if he succumbs to his wounds and dies. So in this first example, the men-at-arms rolls a 1 and passes his resolve test. He holds his footing, or doesn't hold his footing. He gives ground. He's pushed away from the raider, but it becomes broken, which is a whole slew of bad things you don't want to be. But he is alive. And then Daryl, the next outcome. He is slain tragically, and so ends the life of our men-at-arms. And
ham-handed slide management there, boys.
No, it's okay. And that's it. That's a quick snippet into the tiniest interaction that you will find in the new First Blood. So that's it from our end, Daryl.
Thank you. I know Hunter's got his hand up, so he's got something to add, I believe.
Oh, the
I
first
do.
question that popped up actually is critical. Sorry, Hunter. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say, I do. From what you said, Stavro, about micro interactions, my favorite moment in my game easily was my Men-at-Arms failing to kill a Huskarl, but managing to push him off a balcony and killing him, which was peak gameplay. I am so pumped to get more in.
The game is single model skirmish. It is not squad based. It is single model skirmish. It makes it more granular. It makes the flow of it be more narrative. And it's a truly well crafted system. It's going to be, so we've done, again, familiar but different. I'm going to say that until the day I die. I think it's what the golden rule. There are ideas that were borrowed. There are ideas, but all of them have been made fresh and reinterpreted. And this game system gives us a great chance into bringing in lore and tying in the lore and the narrative of the game into the games. Where your warband comes from, what it does is actually going to matter, right? It is going to be different if you are a biomancer who wants to run some tests that he doesn't want his superior to know about, as opposed to if you are a luckless ferromancer who was assigned to, track down an escaped experiment, or whether you are an executor or a lineage highborn out for fun, the way psychopaths are out for fun, or whether you're an executor with a direct order to accomplish something on behalf of the lineages, right? That's just the Spires. But for the 100 Kingdoms, you're going to be able to have any sort of number of backgrounds for your warband, and they will actually affect how you play the game. And the game itself is going to be expanded quickly upon release. Not just a core war game, but we're also going to go into a narrative game that's going to follow very, very closely. I don't know how closely, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut. But it's going to have a narrative game style, and then it's going to have an even more micro-focused narrative style where you're dealing not just with the evolution of your warband, but you're going to be able to deal with evolution of specific troops, specific guys becoming heroes, equipment, and all of these things on a micro level.
We're getting a lot of questions, but Joel, you got your hand up first.
Yeah, I'd like to answer a couple of questions. I saw between regiments and individual activation. It's a very unique twist of both, and I can explain that when we go into later. But it is a blend of the two. I know it's a little vague, but it's a very unique system. I saw another one about model count. Model count is on par, if not maybe slightly less, but it's a cohort box is about an army still. That's still the essence of the same force. Oh, and then yes, there will be monsters. They'll be fun. They're their own events, their own mini. Yeah, they're fun.
I think you answered all of those questions with that one sentence. Thank you. Will there be a campaign system is the next question.
Yes, not immediately, but very shortly after release. We wanted to focus on the game itself before we focus on, but I don't want to call them add-ons because they're important, but we wanted to get our ducks in a row. That's why we don't want to release everything at once. But yes, very much it is an absolute focus to get a campaign system up and running for this game. And then to go into a micro campaign system, which is going to be, even smaller scale.
And I will say, just so that everyone's clear, there are some questions that I think have been asked that we probably won't answer today, because we are going to have a First Blood happy hour in the new year. So we're going to get into more detail, a lot of detail. As you know, it says more Q1 because First Blood is coming for Q1, and you're going to play it in Q1, which is not very far away. So we don't, we wanted to give you a little taste, a little tease, and then have you come back and be excited to talk to us again in January, February. Fair? Are there any questions you want to answer more, Joel or Jacob, from what's been asked?
I think I can answer like all of them. Oh, I was just gonna say the answer to all of them is like similar but different from what I've seen.
Yeah, especially playing the game, there is cleave. That's all there. How that impacts, so we can get into later.
Kyle, you have a question?
Yes, I know it hasn't come up in a while, but how do you foresee maybe the direction of First Blood integrating well into tabletop expression of when we eventually see the RPG?
It's going to be more challenging because we've chosen to go for the 5th edition D&D rules. So if we created a bespoke system, it would have been easier. But we wanted to go to something more mainstream. So the scale of it is going to be far more applicable than TLA-OK. It's going to be much more suited. The rules are not going to be a direct translation, but we will try to give rough equivalencies for levels and competencies. For, this is what a base troop is like, this is the challenge rating of, or this is the level of, that is something that always bothered me about 5th edition, how they reduced other characters to monsters rather than giving them classes. But in effect, we're going to give you equivalencies for everything that you see in a wargame so that you can know what it's meant to be like in our perception of the world. Of course, you can grab that and yank it in whatever direction you want to take it. You can stat squish, you can stat expand. It's all up to the storyteller. We're just going to give you a baseline to give you an idea. But yes, it's going to be more applicable, but not fully compatible, unfortunately.
Can I add something, Sora?
Yep.
Right now, we're treating them as two separate things because they are separate systems, and they kind of have to be, since we decided, as Stavros said, to go the direction of OGL 5e. We've tampered with it, but it's still core OGL 5e. But the idea is exactly that, yes, eventually we will have general models of how to translate your character into a warlord. That is not something that will be on release, but down the line, that is the plan. Of course, as Stavros says, a lot is going to come down to the GM and the players, but we will try to formulate formulas for you to kind of integrate and pass from one into the other. How cool is it as an idea that when you have to play exactly a skirmish scenario in an RPG, if you want, that you can actually play First Blood, or if you want to play a mass combat, that you could kind of integrate with some freedom into TLA-OK. That is the plan, but it's some way away. That is not where we will launch. I want to make this clear.
Hunter?
Okay.
Hunter, you had
Oh,
your
my
hand
hand
up.
was still up from before. That was my bad.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Joel, Jacob, do you want to add anything more before we bring this happy hour to a close?
I saw a question with vertical movement. Yes, there's special attention to terrain. As you said, as Hunter said earlier, with picking off a Huskarl to his demise, that will definitely be a factor.
And the table size won't change, right? I mean, that's pretty much the same.
4x4. It's still 4x4, correct?
Right.
So one of the very important things is, again, you keep the same stat sheet, you keep the cards, everything else changes. The game itself is truly, truly separate from TLA-OK now. and we're going to keep supporting it. One of the differences, it will have its supporters, it will have its detractors, is that in these smaller scale skirmishes, we felt that you could actually have named characters and their abilities come in. So over time, they will appear, they will have different warbands, they will have slightly different rules, and they will play differently than others. Now, these will not be the earth-shattering, world-changing characters that you would expect in TLAOK, but they will exist within this realm to let you delve more into the narratives of each. And one thing, though, that we do want to make clear is that they will not, by definition, be better than a generic character you made yourself. They will maybe be a little bit more quirky, more niche than a more generic character you designed yourself, but they will not be the auto-include or the auto-take.
So Stavro, you're telling me that the alchemist from our upcoming Nepenthe set might have his own unique rules in First Blood?
Maybe.
Lots of fun things to wait for Q1 on First Blood.
And one other important bit that I wanted to bring up, Daryl, is there is also going to be First Blood expansions, which are not, because First Blood is set to a smaller scale, and you don't need big units. There are now going to be, we are designing First Blood expansions, which are going to be boxes with a variety of troops, not a full unit of each, but a variety of troops, which will let you expand your First Blood warband without having to have 12 of one particular troop type. So it's going to be an easy way to build up variety within your troop without having to go all the way and all in on a box, letting you keep it, light and easy without going nuts when collecting an army as well. So we're putting a lot of effort into separating the two as best we can, and giving you as much value for your money as we can.
And of course, the miniatures will still work for both. No changes there. So nothing's changing about the basics of the commercial side of the business, if you will. Your investment in your army will still be fully functional for both styles of play. I think we're giving it an even greater opportunity to play in very many different ways.
And an easy way to explore new armies without having to invest as heavily.
Can we show the Spires teases again? I don't see why not. Answer the question about there are going to be more Weaver courts. Don't worry. We have more stuff to come.
Guys, it can't all be Weavers. We're gonna get slaughtered by everybody else who's waiting for their updates.
There are, just so everyone's aware, I know, I've been asked, when is the City States update coming? When is that happening? Yes, it is all still in flow. We're not stopping. This is what we're ready to share with you today. But I promise you, there's a lot more stuff that is coming your way for all the factions. You saw with Dweg when we did the updates there, and I think everyone feels, I'm sure there's always someone who doesn't like it. That's the way it works in the world today. But fundamentally, casual players and Dweg players are really enjoying what we've done there. I promise that we are continuing to bring new models and new rules and new updates across the board to keep you very engaged and interested.
Oh, forgot one thing. First Blood is going to coincide with one of the, actually probably a second event of the magnitude of the Awakening. So lore-wise, there is also a very, very strong sort of explanation and description on what's going to happen, why First Blood sort of reignites, why we have all of these small bands running around, what is the breakdown that leads to this sort of guerrilla warfare, and what happens Why does everything go to hell? And it's usually with the best, as it usually is, it's with the best of intentions that it starts.
Great question. Great questions, Matt Ackerley. Not getting
Yes,
answers
funny
right
somebody
now,
should
but
ask
good,
that.
Good
Funny.
questions. You're going to have to tune into potentially the next happy hour. Well, maybe 2 happy hours, maybe 3. Anyway, we're in that, one of these days we're going to answer that question for you in the agenda when I put it up on the screen. You're going to be super happy. I think, gang, this is all we came to talk about. So I'm super grateful to everyone who joined us today. I know the team is as well. This will be our last happy hour of this year, 2025. We will be back in January for 2026. So on behalf of our entire team, I first want to say happy holidays to everyone. I hope you really enjoy it, since I will wish you that by email, no doubt, but this will be the last chance I get to say it in voice. So happy holidays to everyone. We are very, very grateful to you all for taking part, not only in our happy hours, for being part of the Conquest community this year and the many years. This is our 6th complete year that we've just gone round the earth with. Kind of exciting. And we're very thrilled at what we have coming up for you for 2026 as well. So we hope you'll join us in January for that happy hour. And in the meantime, our best wishes and safe travels wherever you may be going over the holiday season. Cheers, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Cheers. Happy gaming.
Cheers.